Seram ada bunyi.
People with hearts alive, let us gather in these darkening times. Let us huddle close around fireplaces, gaze upon each other's faces.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
For all I can see.
From holy places.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Assalatu wassalamu ala mursalin. Allahumma salli ala sayidina Muhammad fatil lima khuliq wal khatim lima sabaq nasrul haq bihaq wa hadila siratal mustaqim wa ala alihi daril azim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh, everyone. Wherever you are, we are at night in Singapore at 11 p.m. and some of you are in the evening, afternoon, morning. MashaAllah, welcome to our another segment at the Muslim Arts and Film Festival. And tonight, Singapore time lah, of course, we are discussing something that our people, generally, whether you're Malay or Chinese, Singapore lah, Malaysian and all that, we love horror stuff, horror story, horror things. So we have the interesting discussion today. Our panel of guests are very beautiful people and lots of interesting things to share. We have Brother Johari Abdul Aziz, who's from media. He's a screenwriter, producer, lots of things from him. MashaAllah, I know him like, I think 20 years ago, right, Brother Joe? And MashaAllah, he's still the same. MashaAllah, may Allah preserve him. He still look the same and joyful as ever. MashaAllah. And we have also another special guest with us tonight, Ustaz Firdaus Ismail. He studied in Damascus around 2.5 years, and when he came back, he teach a lot of classes around in Singapore. And of course, we have also Brother Abu Sofyan Yunus and Brother Muhammad Rizwan, Triple A. Okay, MashaAllah. So tonight we have interesting discussion. So if you have any question that you like to ask, inshallah, we will ask our panel. You can message me at 906-87106. Right. So Abu, how? Who are we gonna ask first then?
I think it's a very interesting topic tonight, and ni misteri jam 11 the 11 p.m. Ghost stories time. But I think I have to say this before we start, Sidi Khalid, that I don't know why I'm in this panel, but I really don't watch horror movies. It's a test of faith. But Alhamdulillah, I think the first thing I wanted to ask, it's actually a question for Brother Johari, where, Brother Johari, horror has been a common, local and regional film favorite for many decades. For example, there's Sumpah Orang Minyak in the 50s, Sundel Bolong in the 80s, and today we have films like documentary style films like Villa Nabila. In your opinion, why do you think this horror genre is so popular?
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First, I'd like to record my gratitude, my thanks to my old friend Khalid, to everybody, Ustaz, Firdaus, brother Sofyan, of course, brother Rizwan. I'm not sure whether I'm the best person to be in this panel of discussion today. Brother Khalid, you said that we know each other for 20 years. I haven't changed, right? You didn't ask why. You didn't ask how I changed.
Why?
Okay, that calls for another horror. Okay, back to Brother Sofyan's question. Why? Actually, not just the Malay or Indonesian genre. All over the world, it is one of the genres that I think is a staple, like you rightfully mentioned, Brother Sofyan. Okay, you might, it might disappear for a number of years, but then it makes a comeback. In Malaysia, in recent years, you see, of course, like you mentioned, Sundel Bolong is Indonesian. You have the Langsuir and then the Pontianak making a comeback. Only last year you had a very romanticized version of Pontianak, which is Return of the Pontianak, made by both a Malaysian and a Singaporean. So Pontianak is in red kebaya walking around.
Yeah, I remember that movie. You know why? Because it's on Netflix, and my wife really wanted to watch it. Okay. So we watched, and guess what? One of the Singaporean actor, his name is Khalid. So the Pontianak came and said, Khalid. I was like, yeah. Sorry, continue.
What's on Netflix? Okay, so why is it a staple, like you mentioned? Because I think people will never get tired of the horror genre. People like to be scared. If you ask me, I'm a content maker. I'm not really a filmmaker, but I'm a media content maker, specifically for television, local television. And if you are a responsible content creator, I think there are three things that you look for, that you need to present when you're creating something, content. Number one, it needs to entertain. All right. Number two, it needs to educate. Okay. Number three, it needs to inform. So these three elements, it can have a bigger proportion of entertainment, lesser education, lesser information, but then these three elements need to be there as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. So how does genre fall into it? If you think you want to be a responsible person who educates what Islam feels about the paranormal, for example, then you inculcate or you put in these educational factors. But then again, the entertainment part need to be there. And maybe a fourth element is the shock factor. Now you see a lot of YouTube in recent years, people do stupid, crazy things on YouTube. They call it pranks.
Pranks, yeah.
Prank, just to shock people. Very shocking, They can say something to somebody out in the streets, something totally rude, just to shock, the shock factor. Right. Is that entertainment? So horror, it can shock you, but people feel a sense of satisfaction. I think you do that too, right? When you watch horror movies, alamak. So you're there, alamak, shock. And you get the ratings, you get people paying for tickets. So you sell your product at the end of the day. So that's my brief answer. Okay, next person.
No, but Brother Johari is staying with you. You're saying that you're a content maker, right? So before you make a ghost or Pontianak ke Sundel Bolong or whatever lah, Rumah Berantu or that, what do you do actually to visualize or to do based on experience ke atau someone else's experience, or you imagine it to be? I mean, I just want to go deeper.
Well, I've never created any horror genre. The closest I've been is I've acted many years ago in a drama series, which is a little bit on the supernatural. But then again, I have to say that in Singapore, our local terrestrial channel, the Malay one, okay, we are pretty responsible in the sense that we shy away from blatant hantu, ghost direct portrayal, because there is a danger line. I think Ustaz can verify this afterwards. How does Islam see about, the concept of Pontianak? Of course, we believe in Al-Ghaib and Jins, and do they qualify as hantu? We have a variety. If you ask about hantu, you have the Lelembut, you have the Penanggal, you have the Pontianak. They come in many other names, right? Of course, the recent one I mentioned, the Langsuir and so on, the Sundal Bolong, Toyol and so on and so forth, right? How come only the Malays identify this, but not the Orang Putih ke? Of course, the Koreans, you have your Ju-on. And then the Germans, you have your poltergeist. And then you have the Irish, you have your Banshee, the woman that shrieks. But they have their own cultural ghost that exists in their form, that has their own peculiarities. So back to Brother Khalid's question, Bang Khalid, what we look for, again, something that can identify with the audience that we target for. It's always created for a certain audience. If you are Singapore, if you make a product, most likely you're not performing, you're not creating for English audience, of course our local audience, right? So something that we can identify with. First and foremost, what is it? Pontianak maybe, or something that haunts a certain house in Sengkang or Punggol, So that is something that locals can identify with first and foremost. But then again, secondly, I think if you're responsible, like I say, factually, is it right? If you ask me, if I make a Pontianak story here, do I go along with the Pontianak that dies giving birth, and the Pontianak can come back to life? If you screw a nail at the back of the head, is that factual, or am I playing along with fantasy? I mean, there's a narrative that you always that comes along with Pontianak movies, or even what do you call it? The Langsuir. So again, I go back to these three things. What do I want to inform? How do I want to educate? And again, the entertainment value, the shock value, I mean, the shock is all the technicalities that we can talk about later.
Because it's quite interesting that Brother Joe touched on the three elements of the in creating a scary movie. Okay, because yesterday I just watched a scary horror film. It's called Roh. It's a new film. It's a Malaysian film, but it's not really like a typical, horror movie whereby they go around, scaring people. It's much of the goreness. Okay, because it's directed by Amir Izwan. Okay, and it's like a it's like a stage. It's like a how I call it? It's like a theatrical kind of movie, whereby whereby the script that you used much more very straightforward. It's not like a like a speech, like how I talk to you right now. It's like more like like it's the theater. And in the end, okay, just to skip the movie shot. In the end,
spoiler.
It's all about it's all about a devil whispering to the human being. So whatever the how the movies flows and how the basically the story goes is actually being a human, and you are deceived by the whispers from the devil. And in the end, the devil showed up to you and he said that you guys have been listening to me, to us. So it's quite interesting. It's not like like horror, like shocking stuff, like so there's not much of it. It's quite interesting. It's raw. So back to our our questions. Okay, Ustaz, I think I got the question for you. Ustaz. Okay, so basically all this type of all this type of scary movies. Okay, maybe you can share with us is there an impact on watching this scary movie? Is it good or bad? Both on the spiritual and also on the mental perspective. And is there something that we really could really affect our spiritual state?
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Oh, the question is very tough. Okay, I share a bit. Actually, we are Malays, right? We are rich. We are very rich in ghosts. As Brother Johari said, that we have Pontianak, we have Langsui, we have Toyol, we can go and go and on and on and on until, if this pokok, this tree, banana tree, okay, Pontianak. Is the kapas tree, or this one is Antugala. Masya Allah. But we return back to the Quran. Yusabbihulillahi ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard. Every living things make tasbih to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. It's our upbringing actually. As for me, what triggers me or impact me mentally when I was young, we watched Susanna. I bet everyone of you know about Susanna, right?
Yes.
Sundal Borong, is it?
Yeah,
The
She
dialogue
got so
is,
many horror movies, Ustaz. They say she's a
and
legendary.
her eyes very white. When we were young, we were kids. When our mother watched Sundal Bolong, they were like, "Hey, don't see." And the dialogue stays in our mind. She wants to eat satay, 30 sticks, without, raw, they eat raw. But actually, it's how we bring up a person when a kid, when he is young, we like to scare him or scare that kids. If he enters a dark room, we say, hey, don't go inside, got momok. Don't go here, got this one. Don't go there, later momok catch you. Don't go outside, later karangoni will catch you. So this thing will affect this upbringing of this kid. When he grow up, he will think that he himself think that, oh, this is normal lah. Our mom or our dad will always scare us about this, but it will affect the mind. Definitely, it will affect the mind. This is by experience, like I said. So as a human being, when we grow older, when we grow up, we think that this thing is alam ghaib, we can't see. But we believe in God, we believe in malaika, we believe in kitab, we believe in all the angels that are also in alam ghaib. But the thing that trigger us is when we say Momo, when we say Pontianak, the image automatically comes to our mind. So if I ask you, okay, what Pontianak look like? Some of them will say, Pontianak looks in kebaya very nice, right? And some say that Pontianak wear white. Alhamdulillah, she wears white. She wears full clothing, wears white face, red eyes, got blood here, got blood there. The question is, did you ever see her before? Do you ever, come across with her before? You never know. You never face to face with Pontianak. Then why you become scared? It's how you brought up with all this. I don't say nonsense. I can say that negative things lah. When you meet people, when you walk into you have a circles of friends, then your friends say, hey, my father, he can do this, he can do that, he can do it. So the story will affect your mind forever. Trust me, forever. Unless you uphold your faith to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, this thing is totally nonsense. It's all about jinn and shaitan. And it will affect our spiritual when we pray to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala alone. Syekh Buti, Syekh Said Ramadan Buti, Almarhum said, you will find tranquility, you will find peacefulness when you wake up in the middle of the night in the full of darkness. You make dua to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, you pray to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Every time I told my students about this, there are thoughts that you wake up in the middle of the night, you take wudu, you pray. Beside you got window. And beside you got window.
Behind me
and,
got window.
Behind you got window. And you know that outside your window, there's a big tree. And when you pray to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, Allahu Akbar, the shaitan will come to your mind and it will, dig into your mind saying that there's a Pontianak outside. So it will affect you mentally and spiritually.
Subconscious, I would say.
Yes. So back to the question is, it really impacts us. Whether you are young or you are old, it impacts us mentally and spiritually. And this is very, harmful for us.
Ustaz, I want to share. There's one time, right? It was in the middle of the night lah. I was taking wudu, Then after it was late at night, and then aircon was on. I felt like chills, so like like terbayang-bayang and bulu roma ternaik. Like you feel like your hair suddenly starts standing at the back. Really. And after I was taking wudu, and I was looking on my right, this dark area of the room. I felt like I was in my office. So I was looking at the dark area of the room, like something looking at you. I thought baca ayat kursi, baca Fatihah, do selawat as much as I can. It was really, but you really felt like something was looking at you. I was really, I don't know what was it. This kind of situation, why, Ustaz? Sometimes, even though, like I mentioned, I don't watch horror films anymore. No, but maybe is it because of the childhood? Do you think so? Why this still plays your mind? Even though even taking wudu also, you can still feel that your hair standing at the back of your neck.
Yes, brother Johari.
Yeah, Bismillah.
I just want to cut in. You know that there's a Indonesian movie, very recent, last year. I caught it. It's called Makmum. Have you heard about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was popular online.
I don't watch this. I don't watch that.
Well, I don't generally watch, but I went to watch Makmum.
Okay.
Well, it's about this. Of course, centers on ghost, and there's this female students staying in a hostel, and then everybody else goes back to their hometowns for holiday, but they had to stay or something.
Yeah.
So Makmum, basically the premise is that when this particular girl performs salat, prays, and then she has Makmum of the unknown, and then she's Allahu Akbar. You hear her, Allahu Akbar. So she goes.
I watched the movie. Yeah.
Ridiculous. To me, it's ridiculous. Quite laughable. Of course, there are a lot of shock factors in terms of technical wise, but when I went home and then I did my Isha afterwards, it came back to me. I mean, I'm not proud of it, but it was like, okay, I shouldn't have watched that because you're right. It has that impact on you. I mean, it's as ridiculous as it sounds. Alamak. Okay. But then again, I've read somewhere that there are Jins that can join you. In your salat and so on, right?
Yes.
I mean,
so
relish on it as opposed to be scared of it. Okay, so you're able to answer Sufyan's question.
Inshallah.
No, but it's true also. When I was in Pondok, right? My toilet is outside. I stay in the master bedroom lah. So I was like, okay, master bedroom, insyaAllah. But then the toilet is outside the building, just outside only. The kampung type lah. But the moment you open, right, the door, right, is facing the pokok pisang. So one day, I wake up at 3 a.m. Bukan nak tahajud tau, nak terkencing. Tapi thinking of that pokok pisang, I tahan sampai ke subuh. Then, the last day, right, I said to myself, I regret watching Indonesia horror movie. Really?
Okay, another story. I was filming at the old Changi Hospital. It was deserted already. It was an overnight shoot. I was acting, or one of the cast. It was an English drama. I was the only Malay, the only Muslim. Overnight shoot. So, there's a lot of waiting time. And we were in the darkness because only they had generator to light up only the set, as in one of the rooms. So we were all in darkness waiting. And then I had to do Isha and then on my own. And I moved away from the others And then when you pray, when I was praying, and then I could see things like flying in front of me. I was thinking maybe just my mind. You tend to see apparition, benda-benda, So is it just your mind playing? Because maybe before that already, you tell yourself Changi Hospital. People talk about it being haunted, and then tempat tu keras lah and so on. So maybe sometimes it's psychological because you already have this preconceived ideas in your head.
Yeah. Sorry, Ustaz was about to say just now.
Yes.
What is it?
Essentially, it's our upbringing because if we travel to Europe countries or Middle East country, when I travel to Syria, I don't feel anything about Pontianak, because in the desert there's no trees. So when there's no trees, there's no Pontianak, no banana tree, no anything. Only have pokok kurma lah. So Pontianak won't stay in pokok kurma one. So your mentality change. So when you go there, your mentality change. You feel that okay, now Malay ghost is not in Arab country. So we have Arab ghosts, but you don't have any idea Arab got ghosts. You only feel inside your mind Arab got jinn. Anything related to Arab country is all jinn. But actually, wherever you go, we need to believe that Allah SWT created human, animals, everything else, jinn and shaitan. So whatever we call them, Pontianak, Toyol, Jembalang, Hantu, Jembalang Tanah, it's all jinns. And the jinns are trying to manipulate our mind to make us scared to jinns. So that our faith, we don't have any concentration towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They will try to, manipulate us. They will try to scare us with ugly features and ugly faces to make sure that we don't focus to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, innahu lakum adu mubin. He is the jinns, the shaitan is your enemy. Fattakhidhuhu aduwa. Then take them as enemy. So if we are scared by our enemy, so how can we focus in our ibadah? This is how we try to make ourselves, control ourselves to have the faith that they are all our enemy. You are my enemy, so I can't be scared of you. You should be scared of me, actually.
Yep.
Power to sense. Are you scared of me? If 10 people in a room, you go to a haunted house, you go in 10. Okay, 10 people inside the haunted house, the jinn will, smell, or this guy is scared of me. So they will attack this person, the weakest link in the group. So that's why when some of the groups, a youngsters group, go adventure here, go adventure there, most probably one person will kena one, will be possessed. And if we check back, that one person is the weakest link.
Yeah, Ustaz, now that you mention it, I mean, of course, we see a lot of times in the movies that ghosts are capable of kill, right? They really kill you or harm you physically, which I've never seen in person. I don't know about anybody else, but I've seen someone getting possessed. Yes, I mean, a shaitan or jinn, entering a person, and then it becomes a different person. I've seen that numerous times. But are you saying that movies or horror genre are perpetuating this idea on us that ghosts are something to be feared of because they're capable of harming us or killing us or check it out, is that what you're saying?
Yes. Jinns, shaitan, Iblis himself promised to make us astray from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Iblis don't kill us. Shaitan won't kill us. They have no power to kill us, but they have the power to kill our iman. So those who are possessed by shaitan or possessed by the jinn, he used our body to harm people. But they themselves, we are different. We are created from the soil, and they were created from the fire. So we can't touch each other. We don't have the hard thing to touch each other. So when we can't touch each other, means they can't harm us. Sometimes we watch horror movie, the knife fly by itself, and poke someone. It's considered as black magic. It's using a material to harm us, but they themselves, they can't harm us. They only can make us weaken and weaken and weaken, but they really can't strangle us or kill us like that. No, we can't. They can't do that to us.
Okay, Ustaz. Just to debunk the myth, before Abu Sufyan asked the question. So all this myth about the woman become Pontianak because she died during pregnancy.
Allah Akbar.
It's not accurate, right? And I'm surprised that there are still people who believe in. I mean, I'm talking about Malay Muslim, and this whole lot. I mean, I'm not judgmental, but I'm surprised that we still have that belief. I know it's like old system belief lah. So
it's really contradicting with the beliefs of Islam. In Islam, when a wife passes away and the husband is redha towards her, she will enter Jannah. She will enter heaven. She will not become a Pontianak or whatsoever. This is very contradicting. We need to dig the roots. What caused this thing that really hurt our mental to believe that a pregnant lady who died, she will become a Pontianak. Pity her. We need to understand that this is the games of the shaitan to make us disbelieve in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How cruel Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Allah is not cruel. A pregnant lady who passed away, give birth and pass away, become a ghost. It's really, we can't imagine that we are Muslim. We really, this is unimaginable. So please, I hope the viewers here will understand that. I'm not saying that there are no Pontianak. Okay, they are names. Yeah, they are terms. If people say, Ustaz, you don't believe in Pontianak. Yes, I believe in Pontianak. Malay ghost. That's all. But behind the face of Pontianak is the jinn, and we can't see jinns.
They also have like the different kind of race also lah.
Different kinds of race. Orang Bunian, the Malays, orang Bunian. You go to Arab country, you go to Europe, where got orang Bunian? There's no such thing as orang Bunian. They will ask, who is orang Bunian? Orang Utan have lah.
Ustaz, I've heard from some Ustaz as well that is it true that there are sources, Islamic sources, that says that Allah may reject some souls upon death? The skies are not open for them and they remain on earth because for some reason. Is that true? And then they remain on earth as souls without jasad, without the body. Are they ghosts?
Oh.
So are you referring to suicide, is it, dari Johari? I mean, I'm just asking in layman terms.
Wallahu alam, I do not know the reason.
Okay.
There could be several reasons why they are not accepted by Allah. And then they remain on earth, the souls remain. Yeah.
Interesting.
So you can qualify that.
Allah Muhammad. According to the hadith, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the hadith, the travel of the soul when he passed away to heaven or hell. If a person die, pass away, there will come 3 malaika come to him. 2 rahmah and 1 malakul maut. If the person is a good person, 2 malaikatul rahmah and 1 malaikatul maut. And malaikatul maut will take the roh with malaikatul rahmah, brings to the 7th sky, langit ke-7. And all the malaika will welcome him. And he say, the malaika will ask, who is this? Who is this? Who is this? Because the fragrance that he bring from the dunya, then he bring to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah said, this is my slave. He's a very good slave. Bring him back to alam barzakh. Wait him till Jannah. So the malaika will bring down the roh. So the corpse, they will bring the janazah to bury the janazah, and the roh will come into the alam barzakh. And he will open the hijab of the nar, of the hellfire. So he asked the malaika, what is this? This is hellfire. Where am I supposed to be inside the hellfire? The malaika will answer, no, we just want to show you this is where actually those who bad people will stay inside. It's not your place. Your place, it will be in Jannah forever and ever. So be in Alam Barzah, wait for the day of judgment. That's for the good person. But when a bad person dies, a fasik or a kafir or munafiq, malaikatul maut will come with 2 malaikatul azab. They will bring the roh to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He will stuck on the first level of the sky. He will be stuck there. The malaika will ask, who is this? He bring very bad smell to us. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, this is my slave. He's a very bad person. He's a fasik or he's a kafir. Bring him down. Bring him to alam barzah. Show him the hellfire. So malaika will bring that roh to alam barzakh and show him the heaven. Show him the heaven. So this person, this roh, will think that, oh, is this my last place that I will enter? So the malaika say, no, this is actually, you forbid yourself entering the Jannah. So this is where you will be, in hellfire. So when a person dies, the roh have no connection at all in this dunya. Because inside our body there's a roh. Roh came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our jasad is made of soil. Our jasad will return to soil. And our roh will return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are no such thing in between this line. He will go here, he will go ahead there, and he will hunt some people. There are no such thing as that. So we need to believe that once a human dies, the roh will return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accordingly towards whatever he did in this world. He will not become a ghost. He will not become anything. He have no connection at all. As Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, when a man dies, everything is disconnected from him, except for three things: ad-du'a, amal jariyah, and the knowledgeable things. So we need to have, good belief in this thing. Sometimes when people die, we go to a tahlil or a Malay Muslim die lah. When we went there, at night, something happened, let's say our father passed away, and our father always switch off the light at 10.
Yeah.
So at night we are, with our families outside, then suddenly the lights on. Then we have the thinking that, oh, our father's roh came and visit us.
Yeah.
Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. Don't think of that.
Interesting.
Actually, it's shaitan will come and impersonate your family to make you believe that he come to you. This is, khida. Shaitan is full of khida. Khida means, khida is like,
Manipulation.
manipulation, yes. Manipulation. He tried to manipulate us to believe that your father came just now. Your father came tomorrow. Your father came in your dream. I don't deny that, roh will come to our dreams. Sometimes they portray, they send us messages, but we need to beware about the messages too. If he said that, our father passed away, then tonight we dream of him, he came to us, he tell us to leave Islam. Do you believe in that?
But then how is it about is it to start that then the relation to tahlil then?
Relation to?
Tahlil. You mentioned tahlil and on the end.
Yeah.
So a lot of people say, so what's the point of doing tahlil then?
They're doing
It's not
tahlil.
connected.
Yeah, it's not connected means when we do tahlil, Nabi SAW when ziarah, visit the maqbar, visit the graveyard, what Nabi SAW do? Nabi SAW make dua for them, make salam for them, give salam to them. So when Nabi SAW teaches us, when you visit the graveyard, make salam to them, pray for them, means that when we do tahlil, what we did, we read the Quran, we read the tasbih, we read the tahmid, we read the takbir, we read the dua to them. Once we do this thing for them, means you have to understand the hadith. In qata amaluhu. That corpse, that person die, he can't do anything. But we are the living one. We do for him, not he do for us. In qata amaluhu. In qata amaluhu. His amal is disconnected, but our amal is still going on. We are still a living thing. We are still a human being. So the disconnected is within him and God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not between us. We make dua for him, but he can't make dua for us. A roh cannot make dua for us because why? He disconnected from the dunya, but we are still here. We are still, we still alive. We can make dua for them. The hadith is in qata'a amaluhu. His amal, not ours. This is simple explanation.
Mashallah, thank you, Ustaz. I feel whatever Ustaz said really debunk a lot of the things that go on in your head, the things that you always think about, but actually it's not true. I think it's good that Ustaz clarified that. I got a question for Brother Johari, because I think he's got a lot of experience filming with crew, with your friends, and also, of course, your colleagues. You know how, Brother Joe, you know how like sometimes when you watch certain Indonesian horror films or even the Western one, right? They will say this is based on true film, and then they will say that after this film, this person passed away, and that kind of thing. My question is like, in your experience when you do, filming, for such films like horror films or programs, or maybe you've heard of it, has there been any impact to any of the actors or any of the crew while making the films? Do you hear of any such cases, like your personal experiences?
Not my personal experience. Okay. Oh, actually, yeah, there is. Oh, okay, do I want to share this on?
No name shall be used.
Okay, again, this was many years ago. There used to be this space in Tuas. It's called Mediacorp. They used to have this big set in Tuas. It's called Tuas Land. They had set for Chinese drama, much of all
the old school.
They had set for, they even have set like inside a plane, inside a train. They had set for kampung. So we were doing this drama series set in it's a period drama lah kan. I was acting also, and so we acted, and then the when the director when camera is on you, the director and the assistant and so on, they have a monitor that they look at, right? So camera's on me, so the director will look at the monitor. This is how the framing is. This is how the movement is. So when the call to cut was said, so cut. So apparently the cameraman puts down his camera. It was those times it was the big huge camera. Now they become smaller lah. So he did much a bimbit, bring it down.
Yes.
Without switching it off. And then my co-actor who was not in the scene with the assistant actor seems to be looking at each other. I noticed they look at each other. They were looking at the monitor, they look at each other. This was in Tuas, macam kat Ulu sekarang sangat untuk banjir bertendang. Okay. All right. And then later, after we cleared all the set, they didn't want to say anything. We moved, and then they said, why we were all like, so, our face also pucat, because we're looking at a monitor, and then the camera was from you, from the actors, and it was brought down. They saw something, apparently lah. Okay. Again, from Ustaz punya explanation, everything, we believe in shaitan, and they're all there to they can scare us with horrible looks and so on. And I think that's what horror genres strive at, the shock factor, to make a movie watchable. And I think I'm okay with that. The concept of shock factor on jump, shock jump, shock jump.
Jump scares.
Jump scares, exactly. You're there watching, relax, suddenly, pong, it appears in your face. Buka tingkap, tiba-tiba, So jump scares. These are techniques, very good techniques in making a good horror movie so that people watch. Then, maybe the issues that I have is how they're portrayed in terms of content. So we believe that really souls can come back as demons, they will come and kill you. Or, and because some of them borders on the khurafat, on shirk and so on. So I'm lencong, I divert and I digress. So and the recent movie, I went for the launch of it, the premiere, and then the actors were sharing, and they say, some of them were in red kabaya lah, as the hantu, and then when in between takes they were all looking behind, somebody pointed, that's a real hantu, and then they say they were shooting some kampung, and they see a real somewhere in the background dekat hutan tu, in the where the trees are, a real white, this one, a woman in white kabaya. Again, kabaya. So what can that be? Is maybe all the hantus behind just like nah, making fun of you, because you really want to scare yourself. No, I scare you.
Yeah.
You get me that?
Yeah. Sometimes it's like as if the more you talk about them, the more they become so real to you. You
I
like,
think
for
they're
example,
happy,
they're happy that you're talking about them. That you really remember me. Okay, I'm gonna come to them. I sometimes all those conversations you have late nights with friends, where the more you talk about it, right, the more suddenly like it becomes quiet, and suddenly the scene. I don't know if everyone else face that also. Yeah.
Abu, you okay?
I think I'm the only one.
We do that a lot. When people make horror movies, they say, the production will always say, we experienced this during, so people start falling sick lah, and then cameras start to falter lah,
It's not a gimmick, Brother Joe.
Sorry?
It's not a gimmick.
It can be.
It could be, right? Yeah.
Because recently also, like I don't know how long was it. There was they show the launching. Then they say somebody kena sampuk somebody scream during the premiere launching. So wallahu alam. I mean
that could be gimmick. Yeah. I mean during premiere, no gimmick.
And they always I'm okay. Bismillah, alhamdulillah. So far still good. I'm still here. But they always like to use based on a true story. I think that really makes you like scared, because when you hear based on a true story, it means that somebody out there has experienced it. So it sometimes it plays with your mind, when you use that term based on a true story, even though it might not be true. Allah Alam. Yeah.
Agree. Psychology lah.
Yeah, it plays your mind.
But the concept of sampu, Ustaz, possessed. Is it possible that jinn or shaitan possess you? Of course, to the Malays is kena sampu hantu lah, and then you are this other person, and of course saka, taking saka, which I think is real, right? I mean, it's of course it's black magic, it is shihir and so on. So I guess horror doesn't only portray ghosts, but they also portray some of these ill practices.
Yes.
Of shihir and so on, right? Maybe
Yes.
you can explain that.
I think the basic about possession is 3 components. One is singgah. Singgah means you go into the jungle or you walk alone. Singgahan lah, just drop by jin lah. The second one is saka. Saka is between you, your old generation. You have you make promises to the jin, and the third one is sihir lah. For me, to handle among these 3, to handle it, the most difficult one is sihir, because sihir came from human. Sihir came from human. Hasad. So this jin, jin is not very wise, not very clever. So they work with humans to destroy. They work with human to destroy human. So whenever the human say go, he will go. The moment the human says stop, then he will stop. So actually, jin is not clever enough. So saying about the possession, I like one movie lah. I think Zul Henry Black berlakon cerita ni. Mantra. There was one movie. Last time lah, not now lah. Last time. I watched Mantra. The storyline is not about ghosts or anything. It's about one black magic person fight with another one black magic person, and end up there's one Pak Bilal or Pak Imam settle everything. So it shows that the hatred is not came from the jinn, it came from you actually. It came from your black heart actually. So the possess is real. Everything is real. When you come into like Abu said just now, the thing that we try to understand the jinns, we try to understand the jinn, how the jinn works. Actually, jinns is just like, you don't disturb them, they will not disturb you. Some of us, go into adventure, to find thrills, go here, go there. I have one experience, when I was in my younger days lah. We went to this hospital, not Changi, not Changi. It's the north part of Singapore. We went there in groups. So I'm the one who teases everyone. I go inside this mortuary and I run away. I go here, they follow me, then I run away. I say, go, ghost. I'm the kind of that lah. So there's one time I went there, I just turned off the torchlight and I ran out. So everyone go out, except for my friend. He left inside. So when I went back inside, his head was like this, and his hand was like, tolong aku. I was like, don't like this lah. So I grabbed him out. I hugged him. I asked him, apa pasal? Then he replied, dia kat sebelah.
Oh my goodness.
So he was possessed that night. So what we learned that don't disturb them, they will not disturb you. But the possession is real lah. The most difficult thing is for me is sihir. If you ask the others of Perawat, other Islamic healer, I believe that they will reply the same. Sihir is very difficult because why? It came from human, hatred from human. If Saka is from our old generation. So once we delete the contract, means finish already.
Ustaz, I got a question about this, Ustaz.
Yeah.
I know some people, Ustaz, they love to watch those videos of people that kena sampuk and they're trying to ubat them, nak rawat them. Then they will meronta-ronta, tolong. So they love to watch such a process. They love to watch. This why they keep watching again. It's very, very frequently, Ustaz. So my question is this healthy, Ustaz? I don't know. What does this do to our mind, how we think about things?
when you start to like all these these activities, means they are jins. We call it jin ashik. Jin ashik, he will like to know. Jin ashik will come to you and stay inside your body without you knowing, and make you feel like fallen in love with their stories.
Oh, bukan ilmu
Slowly.
pengasih Ustaz.
Ilmu pengasih, no, ilmu pengasih lain. Nanti kita ajar ilmu pengasih.
Stop.
They are jin asyik. They will come to you and sit inside your body and try to distract you from other thing and make you fall in love with this kind of activity. If you are aware of that, okay, alhamdulillah. If you feel that, no, I like this thing because I want to venture more, I want to learn more, okay, alhamdulillah. But if you watch this thing without any reason, you just feel like, yeah, I like to watch, it might be something inside your body. Please do check. Make yourself, do ruqyah to yourself. Seriously.
Yeah.
I have one question about this black magic things. Yeah, so in some some movies, they were doing some mantras, doing some rituals, and these rituals are not really known to people. Yeah. But then because of the movie, people knew about that, so people will tend to to practice it, to try to do it. So is it like how do you
you mean influence?
The influence, yeah. So is it good to show or not good to show? I mean, yeah.
It's really actually good to show. From I put myself from a movie, movie fans lah. When you watch a horror movie or a ghost movie or anything, you need to open your mind up. Tell yourself beforehand, you only watch this for the sake of entertainment. If just now I said mantra, right? There are mantra. Yeah. I think the mantra is what aja muaja whatsoever lah. So I myself was caught up in that mantra. It's actually good to let us know about this mantra, so that sometimes when you are sick, when you feel sick, you tend to seek others for help. So you meet a friend say, hey, come meet this uncle lah. This uncle can do some Islamic heal. So when you went to the uncle will read something is not related to the Quran or to the Hadith. So you know that at least you have the knowledge that this is mantra. So beforehand, before you watch a movie, you have to clear your mind. You need to learn something from this movie. So at least you have the knowledge that if you see any Tom, Dick, and Harry who claim themselves as a healer, you know that this person is not, this healer is not what? True. A genuine one. Yeah. I once meet a healer, last time lah.
Everything last time, Ustaz.
Last time lah. I learned from experience, right? Uh-huh. So he bring out one craze, He bring out one craze. I see I got something I got here and this pain, that pain. I dream about it. He take one craze. He poke my thumb. My palm. He poke my palm very hard, Then he asked me, pain or not? I was like, I was blurred, of course pain lah. Pain lah. Then he said, okay, if pain, got something inside you. I was set back. Of course, pain lah. You poke me with craze, a big craze, That's my uncle. Sorry, uncle. Cannot lah, uncle. Cannot trust you. Then he got read some mantra. Sorry. That was last time I was eating.
Ustaz, there's one question in regards to possessed also. Right? Someone asked a question.
Okay.
If someone is possessed, what happened to the soul then?
What happened to the soul? Okay. Once you have been possessed by a jinn, you can feel that you have been locked down. And you're totally in blank. You are aware, but you can't do anything. You can't do anything. You are there, but you can't do anything. You can't control your body. You can't control your mind because the jinns is already in charge of your mind and your spirit. Yeah. He's in control. So in order for you to break to exit, you need to remember Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. That's why our heart beats, pump with always. We need to mention Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala's name in our heart. because the jinn and the shaitan will never enters your body unless your heart is hollow from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Ustaz and Brother Joe and anyone that can come in. I just want to share last time in our school, we have this, they call it initiation. So they have a freshman camp and then they will have a night walk. I think Brother Rizwan will probably be very familiar. So what they will do is they will get all the freshmen, all the people, they will ask them to go to a block and from level 1 to go level 2, 3, 4. So they will decorate the whole place like a haunted house. So they will dress people up like ghosts to scare you, purposely want to scare you. Then after so there were times I really went down the stairs, then there's like one girl. So okay, what happened is you would go inside the toilet. There's the girl with long hair. She said, she point to the cubicle. So there are 3 cubicles, all the doors are closed. So she point to the cubicle. Okay, which one? I go to the first one, I open nothing. I will go to the last one, I open nothing. I'll go to the last one, cannot open. So they try to do all these things, right? To really, they say, want to make you brave. To the point where there were times where there are certain paths is pitch black. What are your opinions on such a practice of like this night walk to make you braver, to make you more, focus on zikir and all that? What's your thoughts on this, Ustad and whoever
just to share, it's also done within mosque youth.
Yeah.
Sometimes, it does.
Yes, it's true. He knows about it, so yeah. It's true.
I think it's crap. I mean, okay, it's initiation, right? Orientation, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, they do it now also for Halloween, which I think is just ridiculous. Every Halloween you know of places where they have these galleries. You walk through and then they have all these actors, performers coming to you, just to frighten the wits out of you, lah. I don't. Do you truly believe that the objective is to make you braver, or is it really just for them, the seniors, to have some kick, some fun? Bullying the junior. I mean, maybe I'm guilty of that also. Once upon a time in school, we do that. We do orientation, but not horror like that. But we do funny things, throw flour at them, and so on and so forth, right? But it's not to make you braver. I think it's really just pure sheer stupid fun. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, my opinion.
Yeah, Ustaz, there's another question coming in asking what is Karin?
Karin, what is Karin? Maya Karin, Maya Karin.
Maya Karin.
Okay, before I answer that, return to Abu Sufyan question. I did once make an event in the mosque lah. The motif is the theme is pulang ke desa. Pulang ke desa means return back to your village lah. Actually, we make a night walk around the Pusaraman, old one lah, Pusaraman. The motive we do that is to reflect ourselves that one day we will pass away. It's not to train that you are brave or you are scared. No, we make one big circle. One round. So the male will walk alone, the female will walk in pairs. So when I say walk alone means do something that when you walk, reflect yourself. That one day you'll be alone in the grave, pitch black. There's no one will be with you. There's no one will accompany you. The objective is to cleanse our heart and to make yourself know that death is very certain. That's all. No bullying, no anything. So I think Abu Sufyan's activity is quite harsh.
Yes. He scared a lot of us. Maybe that's why I don't watch horror films now.
Okay. Return back to the question is Karin. Karin is a jinn that when we were given birth in this world, there's one Karin with us. It's a jinn lah. So this Karin is a bad Karin. Only Rasulullah SW's Karin enters Islam. But our own Karins, he will definitely be with whenever he will definitely be with us, and he will whisper bad things and bad talks inside our mind. So this is our Karin. Our Karin is not a good one.
Okay.
So we need to beware. We need to beware about iblis, syaitan, jin, qarin, nafs, and nafsu. So qarin is the same as jin. Jin have affiliate with syaitan. So the father of the syaitan is iblis.
Oh.
So they work with each other. Syaitan works with iblis. Jin works with humans. Iblis and syaitan will make us astray from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jin, it will destroy us. So they have their own job scope lah.
Oh, this one like King Diamond, huh?
Like King Diamond. Because if we ask ourselves, the most makhluk that stays with the promises is the Iblis. Iblis promised to make us astray from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He keep his promise. Not like us.
So, when it's Maghrib, we are told to close our doors, close our windows, and some say it's because because during Maghrib is where during Maghrib is where what do you call it?
They go out.
Jins and shaitan come into the house. Is that right?
Regarding to the hadith, Nabi SAW said, when coming to sunset, close your windows, close your doors, and be inside the house, because why? They are the moment that jinn will come out and follow you wherever you are. So when we close our door, we read Bismillah. Close our windows, we read Bismillah. Don't close anyhow like that. When we close without any intention, the jinn will still go inside. But we close in the niyyah intention that jinn stay outside. What my teacher say, when you close, you say Bismillah. Whatever outside, you can't go inside. Whoever inside, please leave. This is the moment.
People can walk through walls. So
yeah, they can walk through the walls, but with basmalah, this is the miracle of the Quran. We think that, jinn can go here, jinn can go here, jinn can go there, jinn can enter, jinn can fly, jinn can crawl, jinn can go deep down into the sea. But we tend to forget the Quran is the most magical miracle book in this world. So the Quran can do any single thing, anything. So when we read Quran, when we read the basmalah and we read the Fatiha, if we don't intend to cure a person, we don't intend to make this pagar rumah, it won't happen. It won't happen. Nabi SAW say, Innamal a'malu bin niyat. Innamal a'malu bin niyat. Whatever you do, it follow your niyat. If you read Fatiha in regards to get the blessing, you will get the blessing. If you read Fatiha to cover your house, it will cover your house.
Ustaz, with regards to that, right? Sometimes, when we go, let's say, traveling, so before you enter a hotel room, I think I was told that it's good to actually read azan. The place you don't know, whatever that's inside is. Or what's your advice on this?
Okay. Yeah. What I actually do is what I advise people when you enter a hotel. You go travel and hotel. Before you enter the hotel, from the lift, you start reading ayat kursi. When you start reading ayat kursi, when you stop in front of the door, you hold the knob, you turn, you recite Bismillahi tawakkaltu ala Allah. Then you open, Assalamualaikum warahmatullah, Assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillahi salihin, Salamun ala Sulaiman fil alamin. Because the jinn are very afraid of the names of Sulaiman. Sulaiman, Prophet Sulaiman is their, allergy. When they hear the name of Sulaiman, they will run away. So there are three things here. You read the ayat kursi, basmalah, and the salams. Salam means assalamu alaikum, assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillahi salihin, salamun ala Sulaiman fil alamin. It's enough for you. Whenever you enter any house or empty house, whether there's anybody inside or nobody inside, don't leave these three salams. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah, assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillahi salihin, salamun ala Sulaiman fil alamin. Inshallah.
Thank you,
with the intention, remember?
The
intention.
Thank you, Ustaz. I think I've got a question for Brother Johari, where we scope it back to the films, because sometimes you have a scary film. I find that Asian scary films are scarier than the Hollywood scary films. Is there a reason why? Because sometimes they do a remake, like I don't know, Juon or some of the films they do remake, but the Western remake is not scary at all. But
I
when you
think-
watch the Asian one, it's really wow. You
I
cannot.
think the Hollywood one, right? The one that I find scary is Conjuring.
Yeah, Conjuring was.
The-
I agree.
and the Nun.
First
But the
one.
rest is really crap. And also last time when I was kid, Evil Dead.
Oh, Khalid expert lah.
So,
I'm not an expert, but I do agree with you. I think because there are quite a number of, especially Asian ones, that are really scary. And I think it's having a knowledge of through creating. It's a creative process lah, creating something that's scary. What constitute horror and scare factors or scare tactics? Like you say lah, all the jump scares. Even horrific makeup, the plot constitute to it. Music has an effect to it because a lot of horror, Western horrors, it's a lot of running around, looking behind, and then falling. You must definitely when they run, they must fall. And so I think that's too cliched, maybe in my opinion. We go into the technicalities, and I do agree with brother Khalid that Conjuring also one of the better Western horror movies of this genre.
yeah, but my wife discovered that the director is a Malaysian.
Conjuring.
Yeah, I forgot his name. James something. He's a Malaysian Chinese.
Interesting.
Yeah,
We borrow from Malaysian elements.
yeah, could be. Yeah.
So, sorry, Ustaz, inna ma'amal biniyat, right? So our intention. So having said all this and having maybe a better understanding of it's about akidah lah, our belief in the ghaib and then shaitan and not believing in the powers of the supernatural and being positive in our production. So still, it's okay to make good horror movie, right?
I think horror movie helps us actually. Because it educates us. I don't deny that it really educates us. Only that, when you make a horror movie that don't keep the objective. Yeah. But the objective is once you make a horror movie, what is the objective actually? If your objective is to educate, then it's good. I learn from mantra. I learn from other stories. I learn from that. But when you make a horror movie showing that all full of, the power is from the demon, the power is from this one, the power is actually from that one, for me is defeat the purpose.
Yeah, I agree with you because there are a number of Malay horror movies that I find myself questioning myself because there are characters that appears and to warn them, you shouldn't do this to. They play along with that narrative of you must appease these ghostly characters like hantu ke apa kan, you must appease to them by doing this, so they're sending the wrong messages, really I mean, so you play along with that.
Usually the case of sucker, if you want to breach the contract, so you have to slaughter one black sheep and give it to the to the beach and put at the beach, or black hen or whatsoever. If we follow their rules, means we make shirk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We never follow their rules. They were the one who follow our rules. We never follow their rules.
Interesting. So Ustaz, in that case, right, it's not advisable for our children to watch horror movie at all.
For me, for my personal view, what I've been through from Susanna.
Even me also. I also, yeah.
Really, until now. For me, for my personal view, better don't. Wait until you can explain to them, until they understand this is just a horror movie, this is just a story. So learn, take the positiveness in the movie, then alhamdulillah. If not, it will damage their brain, like me lah. I'm the victim actually.
Actually, that's true, Ustaz. Based on the film, when I was very young, I was very scared of this film called Chucky. It's the
Chucky.
genre.
Chucky.
It's the genre of the possessed doll. No, it's not cute. It's not cute. It was so scary that I had the CD of the Chucky. It's a film. We're talking about film, right? The CD of the Chucky film I was so scared of this CD, the CD, because of the show, that I remember I take the CD one day, I went to the kitchen and I actually throw it outside my window. To that extent.
They
check
came back,
behind
or
you
not?
got the CD or not?
No, it never come back.
It's hanging at the window there.
Behind that, I'm not gonna turn. Ustaz. So Ustaz, you see, is this what you're talking about when children watch all the films? You know, it really gets to the head.
Yeah, it will, it will affect their mind. Saying from experience, actually. But by the end of the day, horror movie or ghost movie, it's actually for the sake of entertainment, actually. For the sake of adults entertainment lah, not children entertainment.
Macam wrestling
Macam wrestling macam wrestling. You know, they can fly, they can do this, they can do that.
Okay.
So I think you can share.
What's a bit wrong, Ustaz, adult entertainment, but
Wrestling. It's true lah. It's more for the adults not for the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one. I think this one was the same thing.
Yeah, so maybe Ustaz, you can share with us like once the all the horror stuff is stuck in our head. So what do we have to do to get it out?
Yeah. Close to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Make lots of zikir. Once these things poisons your mind, it's about for you to start learning the journey to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. You have to take the path of learning to know Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala and know Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. It's better for you to learn about the seerah of the Prophet and the Sahaba rather than you damage yourself by watching all these kind of movies. If myself, I put myself, I don't like to watch horror movies. I don't like to watch ghost movies because I'm scared. Not because like, this thing is not good. No, truly said, I am scared.
Same here.
I don't like because I am scared. So I distract my mind. Whatever memories inside my mind now, just stay here. Like the Susanna face, just stay here. But I move forward by making myself closer to miracle from Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Not some miracle from the shaitan or from the iblis or from Susanna itself. Whatever stays here lah. We cannot take the memory out, right? So take a path that make you closer to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, and please strengthen your akidah, actually.
MashaAllah, Ustaz. I have one question coming in. Just after you and Brother Johari was talking about, we were discussing about children. So he said, Salam Ustaz. A month ago, me and my husband was watching ghost movie lah, Indonesia lah, I guess. Because he said got voice. So the horror, it's a horror, but the voice lah, you know what voice lah. So the daughter was asleep actually that time. So when she wake up, she heard that sound. And that sound really caused panic most of the time in her daughters lah, until now, the 1 month lah. So she said, what sort of things that she should do? This related to film also, right? You see? So what is your advice for this person?
The voice come from the daughter, or the voice came from?
No, the daughter was sleeping. Then when she woke up, the voice came from the film. So that voice scare her, cause panic and everything lah. You know lah, what kind of voice is that?
She need to be, it will actually, when you watch horror movie, it will start into your mind. Maybe, maybe it disturb the mind lah. But if happens that nobody watching the movie and she hear the sound or hear voice, she need to be, she need to meet some healer lah.
Yeah.
Check. Because when we watch horror movie, when we watch horror movie, we feel scared. Once we feel scared, any jinn inside our house or outside, we watch them and they know that they watch our things. So this guy, I think we can be friends. So indirectly, when you watch the movies, you are having a bridge that I want to be friends with you because I want to know you. You have the intention. I want to watch this. Why? I want to watch this. Just watch just to know. So indirectly means you are bringing up a bridge between you and the jinn.
Persahabatan.
Yes, and this thing, this is called jinn ashik. Jinn ashik will come to you. Jinn ashik will love you forever and ever.
So for that daughter, how start to
I think
overcome that?
I think he need to meet a healer lah, to check whether her daughter been accompanied by a jinn or not.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I got one question for Brother Johari, because he's in the film industry. I think so far our conversation has been about horror, but it's a specific horror like Pontianak Jin. But in Western films, as you see, there are different kinds of horror like slasher, like psychological, and all these subgenres. So, Brother Joe, what are some of the ingredients that make a good horror film that cuts across the genres, all these subgenres?
Okay, actually, horror, when you talk about horror, people tend to associate with ghosts, demons and so on lah. There's also another genre called thriller. So it can, you can have a story about psychological, someone who's a psycho, for example, or mass murderer. It's still placed along on the shock factor, on the jump factor, jump scare. What are the elements? I'm not really a very a good expert, but I think I love, when I watch a movie, for example, I look for these elements lah. Okay, something that's gripping. It gotta grab you from the very beginning, and then it gotta sustain you. There must be some conflict at some point, and a surprise twist works wonders. For example, The Others, if you remember that, or even Sixth Sense. That's a thriller. It's not really a horror movie. Yeah, it's really horrifying when the little 6-year-old says, "I see dead people," right? But then the chills come to me really when the plot twist at the end, right? That, oh my goodness, Bruce Willis is the ghost. So even though it's not scary for that matter, but I really get chills, that turning point. How, because there are a dime a dozen horror movies. Sometimes you see one, you see them all. But something refreshing, a different take in the horror, and then it might not be really very scary, but then it really gives you the chills. I guess you got to sometimes think out of the box.
Yeah, Brother Joe, just stick with you. Just now, Abu Sufyan was asking you about is there any paranormal happen when people shooting what we call it, the horror movies and all that, right? Do you know anyone? You know a lot of actor and actresses, and I don't know how, I don't know whether they shared with you, but those who act as the ghosts do you know what happened to them after they become Pontianak, or they become Sunda Bolong, or they become, I can't imagine that. When I was young, really, I can't imagine like how Susanna act. The Ustaz was saying like how like this person became Pontianak, and then the next day like nothing happened. That kind of thing. Like you see yourself in the mirror, like you scared yourself. Like do you have know someone who experienced that, or you yourself?
No, the original Pontianak from the 50s, right?
Kasma. Yeah.
She's alive and well. Datuk Kasma Putih in Malaysia. Sihat, alhamdulillah masih. No lah, I don't think it has that much of an impact on a person, unless it's just another role, I think. Susanna, she played a number,
a lot
of this horror.
I think 100 over. Right? They had a tribute on her on Ghost also recently on Netflix.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I'm not able to give you a good.
It's okay. I was just asking, curious, I mean, I always wonder, like someone who act as a ghost, what will happen to them after.
Maybe you can interview Maya Karin.
Yeah, Maya Karin. She did another one called Juanita, which I didn't watch lah. That one's more recent, yeah.
Okay. Abu?
Yeah, I think a very interesting conversation about Jin, and then Chucky, the Chucky doll, and then now we also have the Annabelle, right? So I think one thing that I also wanted to ask is about which one affects who? Who affects who? Is it the film, that cause the community to think so much about horror? Or is it because the community already love horror so much? That's why we create movies that are always about supernatural. So which is which? Is this a chicken and egg kind of thing? Or?
Yeah, it's chicken and egg, I think. But filmmakers, what do you want to do? When they choose a certain genre, whether it's romance or action movie ke apa kan, they have to play along with that genre. That means if it's a horror movie, it has to scare people. Otherwise, it won't be called horror. It can be a horror comedy. Macam Hantu Kak Lima is horror, but also comedy, right?
Yes,
So it's a mix of both. But a horror has got to scare people. So I think the objective of the filmmakers is really to scare people. If there's a bigger impact that you're scared to go and bathe for the next 3 months, then they consider themselves successful. So you are right, I think you were scared by Chucky. A lot of kids, a lot of young people, even some adults I know of are scared of dolls now.
Yeah.
Life-size dolls. Annabelle has the effect. Because it's a lot of psychology. When you watch that, sometimes you imagine, especially you're alone, sometimes you're even with a partner watching, what's behind me? You give that because it's created, that the imagery is created of you, that this can possess into objects, into dolls, into, so they can frighten people. They can definitely frighten me. Abu, look behind you. Seorang kat office
Please don't.
It sticks with your mind, and I think that's part of the formula of how successful it is. Which sparks which. It's both ways. I think. Of course, they got to work on a premise that is believable, right? Has there been any instance of dolls being possessed? There possibly have been. I think it's very possible, right, Ustaz? Even in Islam, that's why we don't keep statues and so on, because they can be possessed. So it is modeled off the real. Maybe unless someone can really be creative, like science fiction, think something out of the ordinary. But most of them, haunted house. Yes, there've been house that's been haunted. Pontianak, I'm sure that there's a basis for it. I'm not sure about it wearing a red kabaya, but there is a basis for it, and I think they play along. And sometimes all the things are added on that the narrative just adds on. I don't know about the paku in the head though, but where that comes from. So I think it's both ways. I think anybody. Rizwan, your opinion?
I'm with Brother Johari in this.
I got one question for you. Okay, so basically, some horror movies, like the Islamic ones. So basically, it's sometimes that the what's it called, the imam or the healer tends to recite some ayat from the Quran, but then it doesn't change anything. Sometimes even the jinn say like, oh, you're saying it wrongly. So this so it's like there's no problem solver to it. How does this affect?
Baca salah. I came across with this kind of situation that whereby you read the Quran and the jinn laugh at you.
Yeah.
You will still laugh and I say, I can't be burned with your reading. It's actually back to our niyat, actually. Back to our basic teaching is niyat. Our intention, what is our intention? If someone come to you and seek for your help, the one who helped him is not you. The one who helped him is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you have the intention, when you have the feeling that I'm the one who helped him, means you put yourself as someone who have power to heal that person. And Allah won't help you. Allah won't help you. If you put your niyat that it's not me that heal him, it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala heal him, I'm just doing my reading accordingly to our Prophet's teaching. That's all. It's all about your spiritual, actually. It's not about your mental. It's not about what you see here, what is the reality here. No, it's about your spirituality that connects to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When somebody come to you and seek for your help, when you read the Quran, you read the verses from the Quran by saying that Allah is everything. Allah is the one who's the most powerful. Allah is the healer. Allah will heal you. It's not me. I'm just, the bridge between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
The means lah.
Yeah. So this is regarding about your spirituality to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And sometimes when you read the Quran, why the jinn laugh? Actually, the jinn wants to, make you make your iman unstable. He's actually suffering, but he forced himself to laugh so that you think in your heart, alamak, I read wrongly. Alamak, this Quran not strong enough lah. So once you have that thoughts, means Allah is no longer with you. You fight alone. This is how jinn manipulate your mind. So whenever you read the Quran, the jinn laugh or not laugh or do whatsoever they do, just read for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-Quran been sent down to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam as a shifa. The one who helped him is Allah. As a shifa. So we need to believe that the Quran is a shifa. It will heal by the izin of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Inshallah. I think we have reached 1.5 hours, inshallah.
Oh, is it?
And we have the highest number watching tonight. I think we call it a night lah, not a day. We call it a night. And I'd like to thank Brother Johari once again for being in our panel discussion. And I think you bring a lot of interesting experience and even questions which we learn from it. And also thanks to Ustaz Firdaus, mashallah, for staying at the office just to feel the experience so that you can share with us.
Mashallah.
I'm scared now. Seriously, I'm scared.
Allah.
May Allah protect you, inshallah. Yeah, so I think that's about it, right, guys? So thank you very much to all of you for participating in this forum. And I think I got a lot of questions, but not related lah. I don't want to melirik ke tempat lain lah. See? So this kind of topic is like you can become until 5 AM also we can still talk.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So thank you very much once again, and we hope to work with both of you in our future event and project, inshallah. And may Allah preserve both of you. May Allah protect both of you. And may Allah increase both of you. Once again, thank you very much. It's been an honor to have both of you in our program for the festival. See you again, inshallah. Take care. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Assalamualaikum. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Assalamualaikum. All right, alhamdulillah, we've come to the end of the program for tonight. That was a program on specifically on the horrors, or rather not the horrors but rather on the topic of panel discussion on horror films basically. So we hope that inshallah it was benefit to you, inshallah. Again, this program is part of the Sout Ilaahi Muslim Arts and Film Festival, and alhamdulillah, Brother Rizwan, I think we've had discussions with a lot of very interesting speakers as well. I think we had a discussion with Firdaus and Sambal, right, Brother Rizwan? Yeah, so a lot of very interesting programs, and inshallah do tune in. But before you end, there is a link that you can go to, bit.ly/Senegal Hospital, bit.ly/Senegal Hospital. We are intending to build a hospital in Senegal. It's we're at 75%, about 75% of the first phase, which will build, inshallah, pediatrics and maternity ward. And inshallah, this will benefit about 25,000 to 30,000 people staying in that area. And of course, mothers who face complication giving birth, we hear stories of them facing complications because it's very difficult to get medical aid. And those who need hospitalization, because of a few hours drive away from hospital, they have difficulty. So again, inshallah, may Allah accept this amal jariyah, inshallah. So that's on the hospital. Another thing is also on the t-shirt. We have exclusive Sout Ilaahi Muslim Arts and Film Festival t-shirts, and the sizes are on the screen, right, about this one. take a look at the design. I'm actually wearing the t-shirt right now,
Okay.
but I think it's better to take a look at the model over there. So again, it only comes in one design. It says as you start to walk on the way appears, Rumi, right? So it's exclusively just for the film festival, and it's limited edition, guys.
Maybe,
So yes,
Brother Abu Sofyan, you can share with us what size are you wearing actually?
I'm actually wearing a size M, which is 17-inch shoulder. Can we go back? Sorry. Which is 17-inch shoulder, 40-inch chest, sleeve length, 8.5. So you guys can check out the sizes on our website, www.soutlahi.com or shop.soutlahi Instagram. That's our Instagram. So again, it's at $25 only, Brother Rizwan. $25. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's like five McChicken meals. 5 McChicken meals. Come on, I mean, I'm sure you guys can afford that. So the thing is, $25. It's a limited edition. Again, the T-shirt is only just for the film festival, and we hope that you will support us. And again, to not be disappointed before it sells out, we hope that you go and get the T-shirt, inshallah. And last but not least, definitely do tune in tomorrow for our last day of the film festival.
It's fast.
It is fast, huh?
Yeah.
I think we have early in the morning we have a qasida performance, and then we have a lot of interesting things happening tomorrow. So yeah, do tune in tomorrow. Check out our Facebook and our social media, Instagram for the schedule, right? And do please pray for our volunteers who work tirelessly behind the scene. Brother Rizwan and a lot of them who work behind the scene as well. May Allah bless all of them, and pray for our directors, Sidi Khalid, Saida Ainon. May Allah grant them good health and long life. And please forgive us for our shortcoming. And with that, inshallah, we'll see you tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.